news that we are getting on the broadcast, and this is coming in from Mewat, where clashes have been reported with instances of stone pelting on several vehicles that belong to the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and also the Bajrang Dal workers. Moreover, some vehicles were also set on fire during this unrest, and the stone pelting, we are told, occurred during VHP's Shobha Yatra. These are visuals from Mewat that we are bringing to you. You can also see ample police presence, and the sad part is that we are also hearing that several vehicles, other than being damaged, have also been torched. Let me take this across to Anshul, my colleague who's joining us on the broadcast. Anshul, what led to this unrest?
If you see, this entire incident that has happened today is because of the anger that was being collected among the locals, especially the Muslim population that resides, that basically dominates the Mewat Noor region. Because remember, it was being said that Monu Manesar was also a part of the Shobha Yatra that was being taken out by VHP and the Bajrang Dal. Now remember, Monu Manesar is the same person who was accused of burning at least two people in a sumo car in Rajasthan on suspicion of them being smuggling cows, and he is a cow vigilant in that entire area. And since then, there has been very little to no action that has been taken against him by the local police and by the Haryana government, and hence there was a lot of anger amongst the locals against specifically Monu Manesar, and hence today this rumor floated that Monu Manesar is also a part of this VHP Shobha Yatra, and this yatra is being taken out from the Mewat region, which is a Muslim-dominated area, and hence this entire scene of stone pelting and vigilantism has come to the fore. It is being reported that several vehicles have been burned, several people have been injured, including some security personnel. But yes, the exact number has still not been told, because the situation is still very, very tense, and the police is trying to make sure that the situation is brought under their control at the earliest. But yes, who is to blame for this? Basically, the people who did not take any sort of action against Monu Manesar, who was then involved in cow vigilantism and killing people on suspicion of them smuggling cows.
Right. And Anshul, like you're talking about how Monu Manesar's involvement or possible involvement led to this entire clash, I want to understand, was this an unprovoked attempt at creating this unrest by one group against the other as the VHP Shobha Yatra passed Mewat?
If you see, the entire Mewat region is dominated by Muslim population, and the Muslim population is not also of the top brass of this society. But yes, people who are the poorest of the poor of the Muslim faction actually reside in areas of villages of Mewat and Noor. And that incident that happened, if I remember it correctly, happened in the month of February, where Monu Manesar had burnt two people on them. On suspicion of them smuggling cows, and since then there was a lot of anger. We have heard several protests that were carried out against the local government for not taking requisite actions against Monu Manesar, and since then this anger was brewing. And today, as the Shobha Yatra was being taken out from that region, this raises a very basic question on the administration as to why was the Shobha Yatra allowed to be taken out from that area, when the administration knew, when the locals knew, and when even the VHP and the Bajrang knew that this is a heavily Muslim-dominated area, and people are actually very, very angry against Monu Manesar and the local administration. And as soon as the yatra started to cross from that region, there were DJs that were playing. There were songs, religious songs that were playing, and which eventually agitated the locals over there, and they started pelting stones. Is what is the preliminary report that has come out at this point in time. But yes, once the situation gets under control, we will get the exact idea as to who was the person who instigated this violence and why was this violence instigated. How did this violence start? But yes, the biggest question is still on the administration and the local police, that why was the Shobha Yatra allowed to be taken out from such an area which is very, very sensitive.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Anshul.